Ladies and gents, welcome back. Jagmeet Singh has driven the new Democratic Party into the ground in Canada, ruining their reputation across the country. Now, he's given his constituents a back seat as he drives directly into his own retirement, securing his pension by keeping the Liberals in power until 2025. Now, he's seeing himself being disinvited from their own conventions. We have here from the counter signal. Saskatchewan NDP cancels invite to federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh. The Saskatchewan NDP won't invite federal leader Jagmeet Singh to his convention over his support for the Trudeau Liberals. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the parties in Canada, there's the Conservatives, the CPC on the right, and there's the Liberals on the left. And left of that is the NDP, so sometimes so far left. But he pulls out the same talking points that you might hear from someone like Bernie Sanders in the United States. The millionaires, the billionaires, these are the bad guys. Look at their bonuses that they're giving themselves. And really ignoring most issues that real Canadians are dealing with. Sources with knowledge of the matter told Leader Post that the party members voted against inviting Singh to the provincial party's October convention. They will instead hear a video message from the floundering opposition leader. Let's not have him in the room. Just play his video. Everyone can ignore it. Singh was not invited because some members are concerned his propping up of the Trudeau Liberals is hurting the provincial party's chances of winning in the next election. And I would agree with that. I think a lot of people are saying, forget this party entirely. In a minority government, an election can come at any time because opposition MPs make up the majority of members. They can trigger an election by voting against the government in a confidence matter. So they could vote no confidence, dissolve the government, send it out to an election, and then Canadians get to decide. No, but he's been holding that one hostage. The budget and the speech from the throne are always confidence matters. The government can also designate any bill as a confidence matter, a tactic sometimes used to trigger an election or force through a bill the opposition would otherwise not support. But Singh has promised not to vote against the Liberal government until 2025 in exchange for Trudeau's support on NDP campaign policies like dental care. The agreement has the federal Conservatives referring to the government as the Liberal NDP coalition government. I mean, yeah, it's not official, but how official does it need to be when he says, yeah, I'll vote on everything you need and I'll make sure you stay in power? Ahead of the vote on whether Singh would be invited to attend the provincial convention, members discussed a 2020 report that examined the party's loss during the last general election, the National Post reports. The report urged the Saskatchewan NDP to take a tougher stance on the federal party on matters of provincial interest, like pipelines. Instead, they want to kibosh them. Sources told the Leader Post that the decision not to invite Singh hands a win to the Saskatchewan party, which has long attempted to tie the provincial party with the federal one. The recent federal Conservative leadership contender Robin Baber, the Freedom candidate in the race which elected Pierre Poilievre, said grassroots NDP are turning on Singh because he keeps Trudeau in power. There's his tweet. It's happening. Grassroots New Democrats are turning on Jagmeet Singh because he's keeping Justin Trudeau in power. Jagmeet knows he'll be held responsible for what the Liberal government does, so he will save his party, or will he let the NDP get decimated in 2025? I believe that the NDP will get decimated in 2025. Here he is on CTV, and I gotta hand it to him. I mean, I know this is Liberal news, and they're gonna attack Singh, or they'll attack the Conservatives, but they really let him have it in this one. Not letting him back down from the fact that they're scared. They're running scared right now, and he's running scared because of the opposition coming from the Conservatives and the growing popularity of people leaving the NDP and going to Conservatives at the moment. But she doesn't let him off the hook, and this is just, it cracks me up, so I wanted to share this.
I want to start off on the ad that our viewers will have just watched that you and your party put out today about the new leader of the Conservative Party. Is it essentially an admission that you're worried Pierre Poilievre has a message that will resonate with people who would normally vote for you?
We're not worried, but we certainly want to talk about his record. We want Canadians to have an informed position when it comes to each of the parties that they can choose when they vote. And it's very important for folks to know where Pierre Poilievre has stood on really important matters that impact workers, whether it's minimum wage, whether it's making the CEOs pay what they owe, or whether it's really standing up for people. He's shown again and again that he's not been on their side.
But on the idea of whether or not you're worried, if you weren't worried, why would you put out an ad?
I think it's important for people to know what choices they can make. And new leader, people need to be able to determine where they're going to be putting their vote eventually and who they can count on. And I think it's important for us to make sure we call out some of the hypocrisy. He said things like, people shouldn't get the dental care program. Well, he's had dental care paid for by the public since he was in his mid-20s. He is against people getting more money in their pockets, even though that is something that's going to actually make it easier for people to get groceries. So we want to call out the hypocrisy.
Just on that, and I'm certainly not here to defend him, but when you say he's against dental care, I mean, he's against the way in which it's being introduced under this government in agreement with your party. I don't think I've heard him say nobody should have dental care out there. You shouldn't get help with fixing your teeth if you don't have the ability.
No joke. Like, this is the first time I've heard the liberal media actually stand up for what a conservative had to say, but it's only because probably it's Jagmeet Sing. But I'll give credit to this reporter, or this anchor or whatever she is. She's doing a bang up job. She's actually holding his feet to the fire. It's amazing.
To do so.
Well, fundamentally, if we have a plan that's going to give people who don't have coverage, and he's voting against it, he's sending a message that he's opposed to people getting that care. I think that's wrong.
But I mean, he's just because somebody doesn't agree with the way in which it's happening doesn't necessarily mean writ large he's against all working people. He's against all help for people who need help when it comes to dental care or their health care. It's just not maybe in accordance with the way you see it.
Well, I don't know how else you can interpret it if someone we're going to make sure 9 million people get dental care, and he's going to vote against that.
Because your ideas suck. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can watch this whole interview. I thought it was fantastic because he's been pulling out this rhetoric. Like, again, it's Bernie Sanders type rhetoric where it's like the millionaires, the billionaires, they're the problem. And if you vote against what I say, then you have no heart, you have no soul, you're a horrible person. And it's refreshing to hear somebody in mainstream media actually call him out on that stuff. But again, running scared. She gets back into the conversation about him running scared of the Conservatives later in the interview. So definitely check it out. Link is always in the description down below. But that's all I got for you on Jagmeet Sing this morning. We'll see you guys in the next one. Keep on trucking.